A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum. My name is Shoaib Khan and welcome to Maxafter.com's tutorial. This is a part 3 of bullet control tutorial, and I hope you have done part 1 and part 2. If you want to watch the rendered video of this tutorial, please go to the blog section and have a look at the video so that you can have an idea what we would be doing. Okay, so let's start the tutorial. So as you know that in tutorial part 2 we rendered in 3ds Max, which I've imported here. And let's start by making a new comp. Drag this video on the new comp button here. So we've got our new comp here. Okay, now if you go to the composition settings, see the description here, it says that frame rate is 30. You gotta check that what frame rate you have rendered, so you can put that frame rate in here. I rendered it with 29.97, so I'll put that in here. Let's say its duration is 6 seconds is fine. Let's click OK. And also, if you want to see that, you need to right click and interpret main footage, and you've got to click here straight and unmated so that it knocks out the background, and assume rate is 29.97 of course, and you put your frame rate wherever you rendered it with. And so let's click OK. And now if we go to layer, new, solid, press OK and put it under our video, and let's go to effects and presets and type ramp, and we apply our ramp to this layer. This is basically our sky, and let's change the color of the sky a little bit and change this to a bit of dark red, you know. So you want to give it a feeling of as if it's, you know, like a war going on, all in red color. So go to layer, new and solid, and make another layer and change this layer to dark red. Say OK and put it under here. What we do is press on it and it'll show you options, and get the ellipse tool, and let's draw an ellipse here. Select this layer and press F on your keyboard and just feather it. So it gives us a bit more, you know, red color. Let's bring it down a little bit. Let's press enter and name it BG. Press enter and name it BG small. Okay, now the next step is clouds. We go to layer, new, solid, and we'll type here clouds. Make a comp size, say OK, and we'll type here fractal noise. These clouds are similar kind of clouds that I made in my loop tutorial, and fractal type is dynamic. And let's change the contrast and brightness, let's say probably 30 or something. Let's change the evolution. You press Alt on your keyboard and click the evolution stopwatch, and you type time times probably 200. Depends what kind of clouds you want. Okay, and then the next step is go to mode and change this to screen so that we can see what's happening in the background. Let's put it under our gun and turn off the gun for a second and make these clouds 3D, and press R on your keyboard and change the X rotation to probably 85, and then we can move it up here and then push it back in the Z space, and then we can just make it bigger, you know. Also, let's click on the ellipse tool, which is already selected. Let's double click on it. When you've selected the cloud layer should be selected, and double click on it. We're doing this because we want the edges to be feathered, you know. We don't want to see crisp edges here. So if you double click on the clouds layer, and you can just double click on it, press Alt, Shift and Control, and you can scale it down proportionally. No. And press F and you can just feather it. Now let's go back to our main scene. You see that This is feathered. Bring it back a little bit more. And we go to transform, and we'll change the scale. We uncheck the uniform scaling and make this smaller, perhaps. And move this back. Move it back. And now if you render, you'll see, looks nice. Okay, and let's brightness, turn it down a little bit. Okay, and contrast as well. Okay, and the next step is we want the clouds to move towards us. So we go to transform, and this is offset turbulence. We will animate that. As you can see that if you animate it, it comes towards us. So we go to frame 0 and put a keyframe here. We go to the last frame and change the settings here. Let's move it more so it's a bit faster and coming towards us. So if you render now, you'll see that it looks cool. Because we're doing kind of a war scene, so we want everything to be fast and moving and dark and all that. Now the next step is we select this one and we Control D so that we make a copy and enter and name it light. So these are cloud lightning basically. Double click on the mask and select one corner here, and again Alt Shift Control together, and you can just scale it down, So if you turn it off, you'll see that there is a light there. Right, and also you can change this to add. You go press F on your keyboard and turn it down. Just so it's there in this area only. And let's apply a bit of glow to it as well. Drag and drop so it's more glowy. Okay, we press T on your keyboard, select the cloud light and press T, and we press Alt on your keyboard and click the opacity stopwatch, and we write small expression wiggle 5 and probably 500. See how it looks, just so it's looking cool now, we just random lightning. But you can always turn it down if you like. We can select this one and T on your keyboard, and probably we can turn this one down, the main one. Okay, let's move on towards our next step, which is the explosions. Very basic, simple explosions. We go to Layer, New, Solid, and we type here lens, and we make it black color, make comp size and OK. And we got fractal here already, so we just drop it here and make it fractal, and we just turn down the brightness, just blending mode to add, and make this probably 19, and or we go and type here lens flare, drop it on the layer. We go and change some settings here. We change the lens type to 105 mm. We apply curves as well to this. We bring it down a little bit. We go to the red channel and move it up so that it's red color, and we change this to add so that we can see. Right, so at frame 0, let's say this is 0 as well, and we move it down here somewhere, the first explosion, and we put a keyframe here, probably here somewhere in 3 frames. After 3 frames we want the explosion to be at 120. Go to 5 frames and turn it down to 0. Press U on your keyboard, increase it if you like, right click on it and keyframe assistance and easy ease. It's a very basic, simple kind of explosion, you know. So a lot of things happening in here. It's quick as well, so you don't need to make it too detailed. Right, and let's go to RGB and turn this down a little bit more, you know. If you render it, so it's very basic, you know. And we put it down under the shot, and we just spread it over the timeline. Control D, put it here somewhere, and select it, E, and select lens flare, and just bring it here somewhere. Then again select it and Control D, bring it here, press E on your keyboard, select it and move it to this corner, and again select it, Control D, you know, and select it and put it here somewhere. So you've got like different explosion at different places. You can, you know, put more if you like. So that's the basic idea. If you turn on the shot here, so you can play around with the colors and all that. And let's make another one here, Control D. Select and probably put it here somewhere. Okay, let's add another smoke layer. Let's go to Layer, New, and Solid. And let's call it like smoke, you know. We'll put it on top, and we change this to fractal noise, and the brightness down. Evolution to, let's change this to time times 100, just like the way we did it before. And now what we want is basically the clouds, you know, the smoke is rising up basically. So we can again animate this, go to frame 0 and offset turbulence, put a keyframe here and go to last frame and just simply move it up. And you can speed it up if you like. And now if you go to screen mode, you'll actually see it, you know. And now what we can do is also select the rectangular tool and you just mask it and press F on your keyboard and also select subtract. Let's move it up, feather it more, you know, and let's turn up the brightness a little bit more, and go to press T on your keyboard and change this to probably 35 or something, so that we don't want to see too much of it, you know, just a little bit. So it's rising. New solid, call it particular, and let's go and type particular here as well. Got our particulars here. Okay, what we do is we use a preset and we go to none and we say fire starter, and we press U on your keyboard. Okay, we select all of them and we say rover cross, and so that we can see the keyframes. Let's delete it. Let's solo the layer as well, so we can see what's happening. So now what we want is to move it back into Z space. For that, what we will do is we'll go to Layer, New, Null Object. A similar kind of thing that I did in my butterfly tutorial. So let's change this into 3D and press P here. Connect the XY of the particular to the XY of our null, which is in 3D. So what we do is we just Alt and click on the stopwatch, and we just come here and select the position here. So we got our, this is basically our XY selected, but we need to also do it with the Z as well, which is this one. So what we do is we again select, let's say, you open the particular and we go to emitter here, and this is our Z here position, and what we do is again we press Alt on the keyboard and we click here, and now we just get the pick whip here and move up, and we go to the position, we have to drop it on the Z here, so it automatically picks it as Z. You see this change into 2. So now we got our Z as well. So now what we do is we go to U and just delete this. We could have deleted this before as well, but anyways, now what we do here is we go to the position. So as you can see now, it's moving back in the Z space. Right. Let's put a keyframe here and move this back. And let's move it up as well, as if it's coming from here, and it drops, near us somewhere, near the camera. If you go to the X position, we can change it, make it move towards us. Somebody's firing from the other side as well, so if you want it to be further back, you can move this, back there somewhere, and then you can move it up or right as it's coming from far away. You can press shift and move it, faster. It's like that. Okay, let's move this bit down. So we got our first missile, like it's been launched from the other side. Okay, let's go and move this under the gun, and if you just render it, you'll see. Select both of these and then again Control D and you move it up. So this time this is, as you can see, we can change this into null 4, and we need to change some settings here. If you press U on your keyboard, and you need to change this to null 4, because this is null 4. And let's see this one as well, null 4. Otherwise it will be reading from null 3, So you go to U again, keyframe, and let's say this time it is coming from, basically let's move these, keyframes. We can say that it's coming from, let's say from our side, and it's going towards the other side, So let's see. And you can launch it anytime you like. Let's move it across. So basically in this way, you can add up more and more missiles, shooting from, coming from here and there, so it looks cool. And so next step is let's go and add a layer, new adjustment layer, and apply a photo filter to it. We need to give it a warm feeling. So warm filter is already selected, and you can change this, to 30. And let's go and duplicate our shot here, Control D. Change this to overlay. It looks a bit more dangerous. Press T on your keyboard. Change this to probably 50. Don't want that dark. Okay. Alright. Now a few more things you can add. You can add some sparks here as well. So let's go and layer new solid and call this sparks. You go to CC particles, CC particle world, and we change this to floor to off. Go to options, and we go to rendering and turn on the force motion blur. Say OK, and we change the particle to concave lens. Okay, what we need to do is we just need to change the color of the solid. So we go to Layer, Solid Settings, change this to red. Let's increase the velocity a little bit. Apply glow to it. Bring it down. Change the layer setting color to a bit of, orange color. Yeah. Change this to add. Okay, let's put it down above the lens flare, so as if this coming from the gun, so let's change a few settings here. Depth size to 0. Go to probably this to 1.5 and producer, move white up a little bit, and now if you render, so it starts a bit early, so what we do is we just bring it here somewhere, so it starts here. And what we do is we just go to scale, we turn down the scale a little bit because it's a bit too big. Don't want too much, so it's firing, and at the same time, the sparks are coming out from the barrel. You can also put a keyframe here, birth is like 1.5 here, so when it comes here somewhere, it dies down to 0. So looks cool. So if you want to make it look more scarier, so go to BG background and go to the ramp and open it up, and end color, change it. Change the one above to a bit dark red, a bit more darker. Right. So there you go. You can add more other stuff into it. You can add more small clouds, to make it look cool. So I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial. Once again, my name is Shoaib Khan from Maxafter.com. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be on you.